Sometimes humans go too far in the pursuit of attention or a silly dare. This guy made it to the top 10 stupid humans at the zoo. This is the incredible story of a man that dared a lion. Back in 2016, at the Nehru Zoo Park in Hyderabad, India, this young man decided to beat the heat in the most unconventional way possible. Picture this. He's tipsy, there's a 12-foot drop into the lion's enclosure's water, and a crowd of spectators watching in amazement. As he swam through the water, singing to himself like he was on a private karaoke show, the lions just gave him the cold shoulder. Lucky for him, it was their dinner time, so they were more focused on their next meal. The zookeepers eventually came to the rescue with a long pole and fished him out. Of course, they handed him straight over to the police, who had quite a list of charges lined up for him under the Wildlife Protection Act. On a lovely summer day, this young man did something absolutely stupid and almost lost his life. He decided to sneak into the hippopotamus zone at the Los Angeles Zoo. What did he do, you ask? Well, he went ahead and gave one of the hippos a friendly pat on its behind. Then, quick as lightning, he hightailed it out of there. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that crazy risky? And you're right. However, the daredevil somehow managed to escape without a scrap. As far as we know, he's still out there, probably telling the tale of his wild hippo encounter. Hippos are responsible for thousands of deaths every year, and this could have gone wrong very fast. The sad part is, in many cases, the animals pay the price for a human's lack of logic. Cheng Chong Ho was at the Taipei Zoo in Taiwan, and he did possibly the silliest thing ever recorded. He decided that he needed to convert the zoo's lions to Christianity. So he jumped right into their enclosure and started preaching about how Jesus was going to save them. The lions brushed him off, but our fearless missionary was determined. He started inviting them to take a nibble out of him. They took him up on the offer, leaping at him, chomping down on his right arm and giving his clothes the good shred. Thankfully, zookeepers sprang into action with water hoses and tranquilizer darts, putting a stop to all of this. They got our missionary out of there. Remarkably, he escaped with only minor scratches on his arm and leg. The zookeepers credited this to the fact that the lions had just had a meal, so they weren't really hungry. In 2018, a man from British Columbia, Canada, embarked on an unforgettable visit to Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto, but for the wrong reasons. He decided to remove his clothes and take a daring dip into one of the aquarium's tanks filled with sharks. Imagine the shock on the faces of other visitors as they witnessed him splashing around while these formidable creatures circled beneath him. Security guards rushed to the scene, instructing him to vacate the premises. Just when it seemed he might comply, he defied the rules once more, doing a backflip into the water and continuing to swim among the sharks for a few more minutes before leaving. However, this escapade took another unexpected turn when the police intervened. They linked him to another unrelated crime that had occurred earlier in the evening, ensuring that this eventful night didn't end there. Oi! Number one on our list will shake you more than a jack jumper on a jackhammer in the middle of winter. A zoo attendant's desperation to entertain his audience ended in him losing a body part. Now, please share this with your friends and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any other awesome videos. You won't believe what happened with these cheeky squirrel monkeys in a zoo in New Zealand. A fellow decided to break into their enclosure, not for a visit mind you, but to take one of those monkeys as a gift for his girlfriend. Romantic or just plain stupid? Now, the monkeys weren't exactly thrilled with this unexpected guest. They defended their territory, giving the romantic man more than he bargained for. He limped away with a broken leg, a sprained ankle, and even some busted teeth. The sad part is that this caused not only physical harm, but also psychological distress to the monkeys. Months after the incident, they were still dealing with the trauma. This ridiculous man, who described himself as high as a kite during the monkey heist, got sentenced for 2 years and 7 months in prison. This incident from 2012 involves two Welsh friends travelling in Australia. These guys had a wild idea to rescue a penguin from SeaWorld on Queensland's Gold Coast. Their escapades began with a casual swim in the dolphin pool, till their attention shifted to the penguins. Sneaking into the enclosure, they managed to snatch a 7-year-old fairy penguin named Dirk. The next morning, these lads woke up with a penguin in their apartment but couldn't remember how it ended up there. In a valiant attempt to care for their unexpected guest, they fed it and even showered it to keep it moist. However, they soon realised that penguin parenting was no walk in the park, so they released Dirk into a nearby canal. Fortunately, some vigilant locals who had heard about the aquarium incident spotted them and promptly alerted the police. The culprits were apprehended and Dirk was safely returned to his enclosure. As for the two adventurers, they faced charges resulting in a fine of 1,000 Australian dollars each. In 2019, an outrageous couple decided to engage in such an unthinkable act at the La Palma Zoo in southwestern France. It all began when zoo officials noticed something rather peculiar on the back of one of the rhinos. Upon closer inspection, they discovered the names Camille and Julia etched into the dusty skin of the rhino. The idea of marking one of these majestic animals in such a disrespectful manner is unacceptable. The zoo issued a statement condemning their actions. Although they chose not to pursue legal action, the couple was decidedly unwelcome to return. Thankfully, the markings on the rhino's hide were removable with a thorough scrub, and the animal probably remained blissfully unaware of the entire incident. G'day folks. Now, we're almost at number 1, but what the heck were these drongos thinking? Please subscribe, share and like this video if you think it's amazing. Now this next stupid human desperately wanted a picture with a Jaguar, but she got way more than she bargained for. In March of 2019, a visitor to the Wildlife World Zoo in Arizona had a sobering lesson in the importance of respecting safety barriers when interacting with wildlife. In pursuit of the perfect photo, she made a rather unwise decision. She jumped over the protective barrier to pose with a Jaguar in the background. There was still a fence between her and the Jaguar, and she naively assumed this would keep her safe. However, the majestic feline had different plans. Seizing the opportunity, as the visitor turned her back on it, the Jaguar swiftly extended its paw through the gap in the fence, slashing her arm and inflicting significant wounds. Brave onlookers rushed to her aid, working together to distract the Jaguar and get it to release its grip. Despite their prompt intervention, the damage had already been done. The injured visitor was swiftly transported to the hospital for treatment, while the zoo extended their heartfelt wishes for her speedy recovery. She definitely got more than what she bargained for. Can you believe the stupidity of these people? Comment below and tell us what you think. One golden rule always prevails in wildlife parks: stay inside your vehicle for your own safety. The animals aren't there for humans to play with. They are wild animals, where there are predators and prey, and only the smart survive. Putting you and others in danger is not on the smart list. It seems that a French family overlooked this crucial piece of advice when they visited Bexabergen Safari Park near Tilburg in the Netherlands back in 2018. Video footage captured the family, including their children, can you believe that? Exiting their car to get a closer look at the cheetahs. As if on cue, the cheetahs, alerted by the sight of these unwise visitors, sprang to their feet and began to circle them. Realizing the perilous situation they had placed themselves in, the family hurriedly made their way back to the safety of their car just before the curious cheetahs could make a move. The safari park owner emphasized that they were incredibly fortunate to escape unharmed. No amount of showing off is worth losing a finger, and this zoo attendant learnt the lesson in the hardest possible way. You can tell he was trying to put up an exciting show for his audience, but I'm sure there are a million other ways you could get this done. Instead, the attendant completely ignored how agitated the lion was in its enclosure and wanted to prove that it was trained to listen to him. Then he did the unthinkable. While patting the enclosure multiple times and getting roars from the lion, the attendant made the horrible mistake of slipping a finger through one of the holes in the barrier. And that's when the lion latched on with its powerful jaws. What followed was the inevitable scream for help as he tried to rescue his fingers. Unfortunately, it ended with the lion tearing it off, and a very painful lesson. Stupider than inviting a bunyip to a bloody barbecue. Make sure you subscribe. Cheers for watching and good on you, mate. Now, if you want to be a cool cobber, give this next video a burl.